So I just saw that the Jinx had posted that there had been another officer at a civilian-related shooting. And, all right, so the part that I have to call bullshit on this, and I know some of you feel fickle about Bait Girl Private Consulting, because as a nonprofit private consultant who does detection and investigating on behalf of people, when you're straightforward and ask me, I'm not going to read your mind and all of a sudden know what the hell you want me to investigate. You have to be direct and approach me about your situation. I am aware that certain officers carry firearms and certain officers carry tasers. Now, the peace officers or people who have their medical cannabis cards, based on federal legislation, and I have my medical cannabis card, my medical card lapsed, but my home state of record, Michigan, is a recreational state. So even with my recreational, right now, I'm in a window where I possibly could go and apply for my CCW, get a firearm, and then reapply for my cannabis card. Officers who are on the medical cannabis program are the ones that are carrying your pepper spray and taser. Officers who are not on the medical cannabis program and have not had any kind of reprimands, I believe it is, are not restricted in the firearms that they are allowed to carry. In a situation where there are officers and they have multiple weapons drawn, whether it be a felony traffic stop or it be someone trying to flee and elude an arrest at a gas station or something like that, bank, it's literally you try to save yourselves before anyone else can get hurt. You don't want anyone to get hurt. No officer ever wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I think I'm going to go out and shoot people today. I think I'm going to go and wrongfully discharge my taser towards someone. They have paperwork that goes along with every single situation. So where there are many officers related to a particular call or incident, whether or not their present protocol is that the officers with the tasers step forward and the ones with firearms draw back, that's neither here nor there. That would probably be a department by department case, but I would strongly recommend that officers working within departments where you have mixed weaponry amongst your staff members and coworkers, you make a arrangement or you make a decree within your workplace that if you are a taser carrying officer, you are to present yourself first. You are to be the one first to attempt to utilize that as a form to detain somebody versus pulling out your gun and just straight discharging it at someone. When it's only a firearm situation, it is literally save someone from getting hurt. Okay, when a crazy person or person brandishing a firearm chooses to discharge a firearm anywhere near an officer, officers attempt to put their vehicles behind them so that they are able to cover fire from the public and community getting it, and they're able to, prevent people from losing their lives and property and things. When we have people that will try and fight the police, somehow they're not going to get dismantled. They're not going to get disfunded. They're going to get reprimanded and someone will get shifted around. And the gossip is going to be that someone got fired until they realize that someone got flipped over into another district of their state. Okay, to Michigan, we have more than 12 districts, I believe, for law enforcement. So when you get a reprimand in the Lower Peninsula, they just scoot your skeezy ass up into the UP and you get to start totally different and hope you don't get mangled up. Their numbers are so small up there that one idiot will try to pull over a felon and not have backup to try and transport him. So Michigan, when they send a bad cop to the Upper Peninsula to work, well, there might be hoping that his ass gets shot. I'm not saying that I do or anything like that, but I would be, when I applied to work on the Mackinac Island Department for them to know where to send my check, I knew that if I had gotten hired, they would have spit me right out around the bridge because I'm small enough to jump in a vehicle and stop someone fleeing on the bridge, but I'm also small enough to save somebody from falling through the ice. Law enforcement, make a pact within your branch, your department, wherever you're at, that if you have a taser, you're to step forward first. That is so the public is aware that we're not trying to kill you or hurt you immediately. People, civilians, follow the instructions of the officer. Ride it out. If you have to go to jail and go to court, you can contact an attorney and sue them. For me, I've had several law enforcement officers put shit in the system for lien and whatnot that would prevent me from getting an attorney and getting a fair shake in court. So when you report the internal affairs lieutenant, The supervisor supervising the bad cops. The one investigating the dirty cops gets in trouble for being a spiteful prick. That's what happened to me, okay? I reported the lieutenant for being a spiteful prick and not doing his job, and he decided he was going to steal from me and get into business that wasn't his, and now he's basically put a whole bunch of innocent people right into a fucking meat grinder. So, when you're internal affairs and you're not doing your job, you endanger your coworkers and your colleagues and the people that you're working with. When you're a police officer and you make hasty decisions, you do endanger the public. However, I'm not saying that this particular shooting is neither here nor there, because I don't know the circumstances surrounding Mr. Wright's fatality, but I would like to say that when it comes to dealing with law enforcement, you're better off to comply, ride it out, and see what happens, because there's always another avenue. There's more than one ways to skin a cat. And if you're getting mistreated, like right now, what I'm dealing with, Florida, it's been like since 2002, when they tried to dump evidence on me and then throw me in jail, like I had something to do with a fugitive human trafficker that was illegally allowed to fill his pockets for 6 months on an island in my home state. Okay, so like as I'm sitting here scratching my head about the what the fucks with white people that I've been dealing with, please, black folks, pull it together. Clean it up. Do me a favor and get bad and bougie. Get white about how you live and carry yourselves. It's 2021, okay? This is not back when Abraham Lincoln is still fighting for y'all relatives to be set free. This is some serious shit. This is 2021. If y'all are not going to get it together and start acting like assholes when the private consulting agency gets put into the White House, let me clear my throat. There will be shortened amounts of appeal time. There will be executions moving swifter, and don't even bother writing us for an extension or anything like that. Unless you are seriously done wrong, just take your punishment like a grown-up. When you act like an asshole, take your punishment like a mature adult would. You sit there and you want to talk shit about animal abusers and things like that. Well, when the dog shits in the den and you tell people to rub their nose in it, or like my mom would tell us to like kick a dog in the balls. That's really smart, Mom. You understand that certain ways that you treat animals or other things or people, it's not going to turn the way you want it to. It's going to turn crazy. We don't need that anymore. When you want to sit there and talk shit about white people and you don't want white people to call you a nigger anymore, even though I know way more white niggers than I do black folks. I'm not lying. Black folks be the hardest working sons of bitches you'll ever meet in your entire life. Really. Okay, listen. What I know about DMX when he was on the run, when he used his little falsy name, he had a job in a factory, okay? Sat around depressed as fuck drinking. Very small clique of friends. And I was his neighbor lady, you know what I'm saying? Like, I seen what did and did not come to visit next door. So, and knowing that the nigga was still going to work, even every day, I can't sit here and say that even a black man on a bad day with a bad background wouldn't want to keep working and making that money. Some people chase that paper, and if you're paper chasing, do it the right way. It's 2021. Like, we just let another old-ass white man have a mixed lady as a second in command, and I had planned on Ms. Condoleezza Rice being my VP, because I got a lot of stress in my life, and the lady looked like the Cheshire Cat when she put on a real big smile. So, pull it together, clean it up. Police departments, talk it up when you're doing your briefings at the beginning of shift and at the end of shift. That's important time. It's very essential. And if you are not doing briefings, I would like you to implement those as well. Taser, folks, pepper spray. Don't be hazardous to the community. Be bold. And if you got a firearm, be very wise when you choose to discharge that. It makes me mad to have to deal with another country because I love being an American.